Hey, it's your narrator here. Thank you so much for listening to our tale. Special thanks to our subscribers on Ko-Fi, Scav, Xbox Unofficial, Kane, Sky, Maelstrom Star, Flowerfield, and David Draws. Your support means more you can know. Our background music is by Marika Shans, with a closing by Cody, and an opening by Ben McElroy. Our art is by our very own Corey, voice of Virgil. Now why don't you sit with me and look up at the sky? You see the stars? They're telling us a story, if we want to listen.
I'm not surprised he came crawling back to me. Him and his new crew, too. Well, what the hell else did they think they were gonna do? They tried to cover their tracks down there, smart thinking for once in their damn lives. But what then? I knew Ox wasn't really stooping so low as to lick Donna's boots. I knew he wouldn't. I knew. So best cut her out while we can. And we shake on it. Her handshake is as firm and precise as ever, despite the delicate touch it appears to be to those of you who watch as the promise is made between Ox and Scar. She lets go of your hand first and just takes a step back, the smirk of a smile on her face. So, y'all ready to head back somewhere?
Wait, I don't... Are we really gonna just do that? Would you terribly mind if we had some time to speak amongst ourselves?
And, contemplate murder as a group? Just for a moment.
It looks like she's about to protest. You can see a bit of storminess returning to her expression, and Jacques steps forward and places a hand on her arm and kind of tugs her back and gives him a moment. It's fine, right? All right, we'll be watching from up there. She gestures to the large stone behind where they had camped out earlier that evening. So no funny business, right?
Right. Keen, just mouths. Thank you.
Jacques finger guns your way, and Scar turns around. He quickly puts his hands in his pockets, and they both head back up to the stone.
Keen, you little fucking homewrecker.
Is Scar not the homewrecker here?
Yeah, I would say it's probably Scar.
Frankly, I'm not so keen on just murdering someone if there's another way to deal with this.
We know of another way.
I'm...
Sorry, I don't want to murder anyone. That wasn't... No, neither do I, especially not under her boot.
Especially not Donna.
I don't really know that much about her. Does she have it coming? Or, I guess nobody has it coming.
As much as any authority figure. So there's that.
I mean, she is the sheriff of somewhere. She's also a complicated situation. I don't remember if I've explained fully the situation between myself and Magdala. So there's a woman, Maggie. We were supposed to be married, and I left her at the altar on the day of our wedding. And anyways, she's married to Donna now. Which is, you see the complexity of the situation. If they weren't, I have less qualms. Not that I want to commit murder recklessly. Considering I'm probably done questionable. She's owns a prison, right, Ox? And beyond just tattooing you, it's but she's I don't know personally if I want to escalate from whatever the hell the first wedding situation is to widowing.
Why did she... If it was her, why did she put those spells on you? I mean, Ascendant makes sense, but...
Yeah, the other ones don't make quite as much sense if Donna's the one who's been ordering it.
But if she was the one who's been ordering it?
I'm sorry, does it not make sense? She is the sheriff and she can use you. Maybe I'm projecting a bit too much on this, but I don't think it's entirely unrealistic.
I mean, I think you're not going against her right now. Especially if you agreed to work with her as of your last send-in.
Well, yeah, I mean, what choice did I have?
No, that's fair. But we don't want her to think that she should use those spells on you. So we do need them off as soon as possible.
I would also be a little curious as to whether or not you're the only prisoner that's gotten that treatment. I mean, Virgil only got one tattoo, and they, whomever, if it was Scar or Donna, felt the need already to slip something in there, so.
Well, I suppose I'm wondering how many civilians have these tattoos? It's more than just prisoners that go to Wiley for tattoos.
Yeah, like the guy.
The horse guy.
What's his name?
The horseman.
Aishan
Aishan.
Oh, yeah.
or Beatrice?
It seems we might need more information before we move forward with this. Does that sound right?
Yeah. I'm not comfortable leaving this alone. I wouldn't want to take part in the whole act of it if we did kill her. I don't really want to think about that, actually, too much.
At the very least, we probably shouldn't get too deep into the planning phase while she could be listening.
Detect magic.
You don't detect any new magic.
We're good right now. Keeping an eye on that.
Not to be insensitive, Henry, but do you think Maggie knows about all of this? From what you know of her, at least from that time, would she do something like this?
I don't think so. She did, I mean, when we signed that agreement between my family and the sheriff, she did look guilty, sort of. Something to that effect.
With the rail line?
Yes. So maybe she does know.
Is Donna mixed up in the rail line too?
Well. So there was an agreement between Donna and my family that I initiated. I mean, it sounded like a reasonable idea at the time, because Maggie was convinced me that maybe it's not great for my family to have such a monopoly on the rail line, and and the long and short of it is that I facilitated the sale of the line between Donning and somewhere to Donna.
Oh.
No, it sounds bad in retrospect with the knowledge we have now, but at the time it was a logical deal and was progress and maybe a good idea. I don't...
On the contract, was it just the sale to Donna, or is it a sort of dual oversight between herself and Maggie?
Actually, you know what? And he rifles through his bag and opens up an older, not like terribly old, but a little bit of an older, his previous notebook compared to the current one that he has. And within it is a folded copy of the contract.
Sale of the Goodlove and Goodlove Dawning to Somewhere Rail. The Goodlove and Goodlove Railroad line, following the ley line from Dawning to Somewhere, will be exchanged following the safe and free return of the half-elf Lachlan to Henry T. Goodlove. If this condition is not fulfilled, this contract becomes void. The conditions of the sale are outlined in the following accompanying document. Signed, Henry Tempest Goodlove. Where did the following document go? You wanted to know if it had Maggie in it. If Henry didn't insist on Maggie's name being in there, Donna would have insisted on Maggie's name being in the contract.
Supportive wife.
Maggie did not insist on her name being in the contract.
But Henry and Donna spoke up for her.
Yeah. Yeah, so in this initial shorter version of the document, Virgil, you don't see any mention of Maggie specifically, but in the longer contract that Henry wrote up, there is mention of Maggie Brunnett, that she will be the head of the rail line, that it will be under her name, but that she is a business partner, or you know that she's a business partner with Sheriff Donna. It's sort of shared in a way. I don't think you know like the exact legal situation behind the scene, but you would know that this at least implies that they both have shares of the rail line.
Hear me out. I don't know if... Actually, I have no idea if this would work.
Trapping her in a plane is arguably the same as killing her.
No, that's not... I'm saying
Creative.
maybe we do figure some shit out with her because this seems like a bigger issue than I was previously aware of. But do you think that the tattoos would conceivably the magic go away if we got Ox a new body?
Are we... in theory?
Do you purchase bodies often?
There, in theory, multiple ways to do such a thing with magic. Not purchase, but
Yeah, not all of us
Create.
are blue bloods.
or change a body. What did you have in... Can you do that?
Wait, are you talking about, like some vampire shit?
Well, that could also be an option, maybe. This I wouldn't recommend without lots of thinking about it. But I also wouldn't recommend this. And they take their bag of holding and just hold it in front of them. It's just that we were in a place last night that seemed to be doing the same thing. Well, I don't really know how.
What do you mean? What are you saying?
That we use the machine. We don't really know what it does, but that's what you're suggesting.
I guess so.
We just try it out and hope that it solves our problem.
Well, perhaps we could investigate a little more, but
We already did. I mean, we have books we could look through, but not much survived.
It's a wild thought. It's just...
you think those machines were used to resurrect people? Or
And
remake them?
That is the implication. But we don't know what it does to them when it brings them back. That is what is unclear.
What do we know? What have we put together?
What you saw of this machine is that they put a body in, an egg formed around it, and then it supposedly later on hatched into Ox. Is the conclusion that you were able to come to.
I'm worried about a lot of things, but, what if Wiley's the one in charge of how the spells work, and not Donna? We don't really know exactly how this all goes down, and if we kill Donna and there's still this magic on Ox, that's not good either. And it brings about a whole world of other problems. But we also have no idea how this works yet.
No, we don't know how any of it works, and that's the problem.
Ox, were you gonna say something?
I do think you're right. Killing Donna won't solve this. It gets rid of the person that's spying on me, but it doesn't get rid of the problem.
But she is a problem too, and now that we're thinking about it. But we'll get back to that later.
You're pulling out the books, Garrett.
Yeah.
Can you roll a d20 for me, please?
Yeah.
What you got?
11?
11.
Yeah.
Will you roll again, please?
14.
Roll it again, please.
Oh, I don't like this shit. Oh, God.
Is this until you get a nat 20?
I'm getting 18.
Will you roll it again, please?
I'm getting more flashbacks. This is either a you
It's getting high.
5.
Will you roll it again, please?
This is either you're getting a natural 1 or a natural 20.
It was a 20.
Are you just opening to a random page, basically?
Sure.
Are you looking for anything? I'm investigating. Are you looking for anything in particular? What's your study strategy here, schoolboy?
Was there a diagram of the tank in there, the egg machine?
Lo just takes the book from your hand and, without a moment of hesitation, opens it to the correct page and hands it back to you.
So is that an apparition or,
What?
or do we all there he's here?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Hello.
that's what you're looking for.
Yes, actually, do you know about these things?
He nods.
Could you tell us about it?
He looks over to you, and it's like he's about to nod again, and then their head tilts to the side, questioningly. I don't know.
Is Keen's theory accurate? I'm assuming you heard that part.
Would it help with Ox's tattoos?
His head tilts to the other side.
If we were to put Ox in,
I don't think they know.
could we do that? though? Put Ox in the machine. Would it work?
They look back at the sketch of the tank. Their eyes narrow. Worked before.
Would it hurt him?
No. They step back from the book. No.
How many times did it work?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have a low roll.
A low roll?
A low roll. Low's first roll.
That feels
I
wrong.
love rolling dice.
They do.
How many?
Yeah.
They just look back at the book again. It's kind of like they're lost in thought.
You put people into these and they come out alive? Again?
Sometimes.
Do you know why sometimes they didn't?
Fate. Luck.
Can I just insight check them? It's a 12.
What are you insight checking?
Do they seem as if they're telling the truth?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they are discovering this as they say it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like there are no thoughts behind those eyes. It doesn't look like they're, here scheming. They seem almost confused by their own words.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know if it's true or not, but you know that it's probably honest.
Yeah. The ones that survived, how were they different?
They reach out to the book and flip over to another page. The pages are not entirely legible. Most of them are not whole. But they stop on one, trace their fingers over a single word. Starcatchers.
Did you ever go through it? Or did you just help?
I never did. Not for me. It's not for me.
Who's it for?
Lo looks at you, Ox, again. Their right ear flicks to you.
What does that mean?
Where is it?
Machine?
Star.
Ox will reach into his right pocket and pull out the river stone that Lo gave him.
They shake their head. The living one.
Living.
The woman that I saw. Here, below ground.
Actually, I don't think you would come to that conclusion. But that's my question.
He looks puzzled by the question.
So, was Ox one of those babies?
Virgil opens his sketchbook and starts drawing.
And when Ox hatched, there was something... a star attached to him.
He nods.
Did it look exactly like him?
Yes.
Okay, two things. Thing number one. Up on the hill,
the Negawins and Scar, did they give any reaction when this Catboy appeared? Did they see him?
You glance up and see that Scar has taken a few steps forward and has her hand on the holster of her gun.
Okay. Thing number 2. Virgil will turn around his sketchbook to Lo. There is a loose sketch of the woman that he saw, bound below Slate's Edge. Is this her? Do you know her?
Lo turns away, takes off his hat, presses it to his heart.
What was her name?
You roll persuasion.
Do I have to? Wait, I still have that spell active!
What?
Wait, you said persuasion?
Yeah.
Fuck. I chose deception.
Persuasion.
Errol can't help me with this one, guys. But Rowan fucking can. Because if I had picked persuasion, it would have been Rowan. Natural 20 for a 19.
You can see a glimmer of tears as they run down his face. And it takes him a moment to answer. You have to lean in. Vivian.
Fucking right. She was the North Star.
Lo again gives that slight nod.
Okay. Do you see up there on that rock?
Lo turns around.
Is that the star that was attached to Ox?
He is frozen in place. And I mean, she was already standing kind of, still, but she has this lazy, laid back energy to her posture usually. But as they turn and meet each other's eyes, you can see even from afar, she tenses, straightens up. And Lo looks back to Ox and back to Scar, takes a halting step forward towards her, then stops himself, shakes their head, steps back.
What's going on? Okay.
You look like you know her too.
Looks back to Ox. Why did you do that?
The hell do you mean?
She's not yours anymore.
What the fuck?
She wasn't mine to begin with. She's her own person.
Can I insight check that?
What does Autumn / what does Kira get?
I mean, Ox is confused. Ox is in the dark.
It's clueless.
Says as the rest of the fool.
Lo almost looks blank-faced. I mean, they have the constant melancholy, of course, that lingers around them, but they don't seem angry despite the accusatory language, and they turn back to hear it. I know how to do it. They gesture to the book. You wanted to know.
Yes. Would you tell me?
Should I?
Well, currently, Ox is in quite a bit of danger, and we're hoping this will help him.
Can you say no to cure it? Like, can you look cured in the eye?
I mean, we're being silly goofy here.
Yeah.
Kira, you say that, and you all see Lo's expressions soften in a way that makes them look much more like a person than you have seen so far. And they nod.
Right now? Do you think we can do it right now?
He looks around at the ruins questioningly.
We got a machine. It's in here. We'd have to get to a place with dry land, but I've got it here. If you can show us how.
Lo nods.
We start walking towards Scar?
He sticks very close to Kirit as you make your way over to Scar and the Negawins. Like, very close. You have to kind of clamber up onto the stone. Scar is up at the top, waiting for you all. Her expression is also fairly unreadable. It seems she's ordered the rest of the winds to stand back, reach the crest of this climb. They're all clumped together in the back. You can see a few whispers being spread. They are clearly, when Scar's not looking, openly confused about what's going on. And she reaches down Ox to offer a hand to help you up.
I don't think he takes it. He gets up by himself.
She steps back, glaring at you.
It's just, that your name is Scar and you're offering to help someone up off a cliff. And if Lion King is telling you,
Thanks, but no thanks. I got it myself.
Of course you do. What's this then?
I think we're gonna try something else first. Keen will take the machine out of the bag.
I think you need to dump it.
Yeah,
Dump the whole.
they dump it out. There's a lot of fucking books in there.
to see all of our erotica.
takes-
Yeah, Keen just dumps the bag out.
Yeah, with the use of telekinesis, you can prevent the machine from slamming against the ground and damaging it. So in a flood of literature and whatever, I don't know, pretty shells that you may have thrown in there,
Erotica, a banjo, a mandolin.
Scar looks at those and looks to you with a raised brow, a bit absently but curiously. But amongst all of this, these treasures, you have the machine.
Keen quickly scoops up their treasures.
It's for getting rid of the tattoos. Can't fight Donna if she can know all of our plans in advance.
She steps forward to the machine and looks over to you, Kian.
Still working?
As far as we can figure out.
Does she fucking know what this thing is?
Did you do this?
She gestures to the numbers.
Is it the one that is 7
Yeah.
Can I insight check her? 14.
I'm insight checking with a 7 before I answer.
If she recognizes this for what it is.
Yeah.
She has no trace of confusion about her. I mean, I guess she's confused as in she's surprised that it supposedly is here and working. But there's no sense of seeing something unfamiliar.
Does that matter?
Answer my question.
She taps the numbers.
Did you do this? I'm asking if you did this.
Yes. Yes. Maybe. I don't. Yeah.
Still got your coin?
They take it out of their pocket.
Well, looks like you finally got some good luck, huh? I'm assuming this means you're, interested in a change of plans?
Yeah, I think this is gonna be easier than trying to take care of Donna. At least right now.
Easier is a way to put it. We don't really know what this does.
I think it should work nicely.
Makes me less inclined. Do you know what this thing does? You seem to recognize it.
Certainly do.
Do you mind sharing with the class?
Would you like a new body?
Suppose if it means getting rid of these spells.
Don't know why I shouldn't do the trick.
But maybe you could elaborate on the new... What do you mean?
You got a special new ladder on you, don't you?
I do.
Now listen, don't look at me like that. I'm not gonna try to take it from you.
No, you'll just
Siblings!
you'll just continue to avoid our questions and answer them with your own.
I just think there's a way that this will work out a bit, more peacefully, which seems like you folk are a little on the softer side.
Yeah.
Called you a puff pastry.
Yes, please forgive our moral integrity.
Oh yes, your moral integrity. Maybe, spend about 20 more minutes inside the walls of Paradise Prison, you'll change your mind.
Don't preach to me now. Just elaborate on the damn machine.
The lighter fluid.
What about it?
I think that's all you need to add.
Yeah, we're
And your
actually
coin. What?
not going to be doing any of this until you tell us what this thing does. You seem so eager now.
Give you a new body.
And what else?
What happens to the old body?
She gives a cheeky little shrug.
Best if you don't think about that too hard.
Actually, since you seem more on board with this than we are, it's in your best interest to convince us.
If you want to kill a sheriff instead, it's also in my best interest.
She gets what she wants either way.
What I'm interested in is what she gets out of this, specifically.
I don't like these tattoos any more than you do.
Ox, what do you want?
You've done it before, you know. What's a second time? How dare you?
I didn't ask you.
What do you mean I've done it before?
A long time ago. Probably don't remember.
I think that's why he asked.
I mean, you did it a long time ago.
There's a very visible eye roll.
There are two very visible eye rolls.
Oh, she's insufferable.
Y'all are trying to get so much lore out of our DM tonight. I think we might have gotten what
She knows shit.
Yeah, and she doesn't want to tell us.
Do you think we just have to do it or this is gonna go forever?
Yes.
Like,
You still have that coin from Anne?
I gave that back to you long ago. Guess you didn't notice.
When did you give it back? I would have noticed. I would have kept it in a special place. Quit lying.
I ain't lying.
Fine, I'll take your dare. Ox will approach the machine, and I think as he watched Kian do before, he will put his hand in there for a little chomp.
As you move in, Scar reaches out, almost touches your arm. You don't need to do that. Looks like your friend's got it all set up for you. Put your coin in. Better go fast.
okay.
Virgil's got his hand on the hilt of his sword.
Yeah.
He's watching.
Just to remind you, the magic has been fading from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kian will hesitate for a second and put it in.
The machine starts to light up a little brighter. Again, as you saw before, music begins to play. The coin sort of rises on a little mechanical stage and floats behind the display. Scar knocks on the tank. A couple drops should do.
He'll open up the lighter and pour in a few drops.
You have to kind of clamber up there.
Up there.
Kian has telekinesis. Oh,
Can you do it with people?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Does it hurt?
Do you need?
Throw
You're
up.
getting scruffed.
Do you need help up there?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Kian just scrubs.
Okay, by your shirt collar, you are dragged. It's canon. You are dragged up above the top of the tank.
I thought that would feel nicer, but it looks really... Oh, God.
Yeah, I think Ox will sort of flail for a second as he gets scruffed before taking out his lighter and carefully trying to pour a few drops over the top.
You all see some deep, almost purplish red liquid drip from the lighter. Of course, it appears to disperse and then reforms altogether. It sinks partially and then kind of comes to a standstill in the center of this tank. It's just this like amorphous blob, I guess almost like mercury in the center. And Scar reaches forward and pulls at the lever of the machine. And you watch it happen in like quick time. The formation of an egg from this thing, this shape. Bigger than a bird's egg, but smaller than Ox. And then it begins to grow, more to the size of a child. A light shines brightly from it as cracks begin to form. And then the cracks grow too bright for you to look at. Beside the machine, Ox collapses to his knees. The inner glass of the tank is suddenly plastered with shadows here and there as the shell seems to explode, break, and hit the walls of the tank, but it does not crack the tank itself. It does not break that. Ox collapses to the ground, and then the light is too bright for you to see, like a star has landed in front of you, and you all turn your gaze away. And it's hard to say if it takes 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or longer, but finally, the light begins to diminish, slowly, slightly, a little bit more, and a little bit more. And when you're finally able to blink the remnants of it from your eyes and look back, and you see floating in the tank what looks like the body of Ox.
And it's almost uncanny because he looks the exact same, except for all of his tattoos are gone. Or almost all of them. Ox still has the red sun on his neck, the spade on his foot, and we can't forget the crescent moon on his ass, all given to him by Anne. Wiley's tattoos have completely vanished. At least from this body. Or maybe they were never there at all.
Beside the tank lays what looks like the body of Ox. and then they both open their eyes. Ox, you wake and you are underwater.
Oh god, Ox doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to swim.
Shit.
Kian will pick Ox out of the tank with telekinesis. It's still up. As soon as Ox flails, like...
You all see Ox gasp in and immediately start choking on water, flailing at this tank. The clunk of his fists against the glass walls, and Kian, you immediately... Well, he's not wearing any clothes, so you can't scruff him, but this time you are still able to pull him out from the water with a splash. And as he coughs and sputters, the other Ox beside the tank pulls himself up from the ground and just starts dusting off their pants.
Virgil draws
Turns
his
back and
sword.
watches.
And Scar.
You don't see Scar.
What the fuck?
You do
Are
see
you
a
okay?
stack of clothing where Scar was just standing. Other Ox turns around and picks it up again, does their best to dust it off. And Ox, you are placed onto the ground.
Next to Kian.
Are you okay? Can you breathe? Are we good?
Breathe with me.
He starts hyperventilating.
Ox, the light all feels kind of too bright for you, and your legs feel weak beneath you. Kian, when Ox is set down beside you, he sort of collapses. You have to help him either stay up or sink to the ground with him.
Already me being like, I should have taken off his bag of holding and the guns from the old body.
She'll try.
No.
She's like, ooh, what's in this pocket?
She might fuck around a little, but
We didn't know.
Happen. Kian, you have to support Ox before he collapses to the ground again. I'm still coughing a bit, but he's breathing. His body is warm next to you.
Okay. Can you speak? Are you...
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'll drape a cloak over him.
It's just kind of bright out here.
I think he just like tries to use the cloak to shade his eyes.
It's heavy wool. He
Ian.
can do that.
Kian will take off their glasses and hand them to Ox. Does this help? Shit, I can't see. Can somebody else try to... Can you put them on yourself?
One of you two see to that. You. Drop everything. Thank you. The bag, the guns, all of it.
They turn around and look to you. Place a hand on the holster of the gun. Why should I?
Because this could all become very messy. And you agreed to this so it wouldn't. Drop it.
You're a little rude. I'm gonna go change. And Scar picks up the remainder of her clothing that's still laid out on the ground and steps over in the direction of the Winds of Change, who are just as flabbergasted as the rest of you.
Yeah, we'll check inventory when you get back.
You don't need guns to change.
I think she'll be fine.
You see her raise a hand to the rest of the Winds. Like, they look at each other with this moment of confusion, and then as they each clearly reach for a weapon as she approaches, it's hidden, but you see her raise her hand and like clearly motion with some sort of hand signal, and they all relax slightly. And she steps around them. Jacques is just staring over at you, Kian, back to Scar, and back to you. And you see her just kind of smoothly hop off the backside of the stone and out of view.
Do the glasses help?
Yeah, I mean, and you're also starting to get used to the light. It does ease that transition a little more, but it's more like if you were in a dark room for a long time and someone's trying a flashlight in your eyes, as you kind of blink and come to a little more, you're able to see without them.
He puts the glasses on just a short amount of time before taking them slightly off, putting them back on, taking them slightly off, and then handing them back to Kian.
It's starting to get better.
Oh, okay, good. Nice to see. They put them back on.
How do we think she got... Where did she... And this is for sure Ox?
Did Scar sound the same?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
You're
think
put
of
in a room with 5 women and 3 fish.
What do you do? There are no windows and no doors.
Cry.
Are you okay? How do you feel?
I feel fine. like myself, I guess. He'll look at his hands and at himself to make sure he looks normal.
Keen will cast Detect Magic and just give Ox a quick glance over.
You do not detect any signs of magic on Ox.
Can I start casting Identify?
You would detect
Like an aura of magic.
a celestial aura fading even as you watch it.
Does it look like how the coin looked?
Yeah. It doesn't completely vanish, but it is not shining quite so bright as when you first cast it.
It looks like it worked. Doesn't seem like there's any curses anymore. There's no spells.
Is the coin still in the machine, or did it get eaten by the magic?
You go over and check the machine.
Yeah.
There is a coin. A coin has slid out in this sort of bottom slot at the bottom of the panel. When you pick it up, it feels very light. It feels lighter than it looks, like some of the other coins you found in the tunnels.
Oh. When I glance over, does that look magical?
No.
Well, I don't know if it's anything like Henry's coin, but maybe you should hold on to this until we know.
He nods.
I don't think it's magical, but maybe
Yeah.
there's something about it.
Better to be safe than sorry.
It's also just kind of important anyway.
You hear a tap of the heel of her boots as Scar approaches, having clambered back up over the rock, fully dressed in her old clothes again, carrying a bundle of oxes. And she steps just straight up to Ox and shoves them into your arms.
He'll take them. Thanks, I guess. You didn't rifle through anything?
I'd do some rifling, but no, not really. I don't want your shit.
Then I hope you won't mind as we just make sure as he gets dressed.
Of course.
Virgil will turn to Kian, and in Celestial, I guess, you just make sure there's nothing that she left on any of that, any spells.
I mean, Keen does a quick glance over.
Do you think I was going to change in front of you?
That's really not what I'm concerned about.
Keen will just hand things over one by one to Ox. Hold up the cloak or something. Give you privacy. Take care.
I mean, everyone's already seen me up here, so
Fair.
it doesn't really matter at this point. He'll start getting dressed.
In Celestial, to both of you. If we're going to be working together, you can't freak out every time I touch something. It's going to really slow us down.
Oh, this is all very new, so you'll excuse us a bit of uncertainty.
I think we're just a bit worried.
You haven't set the best example.
It's not as if you trust us. Come on.
Does Henry say that in Celestial?
Yeah, he does.
Guys, can we just talk in common? Do you need me to go somewhere
No,
else?
it's okay.
or-
We can talk in common.
Really, we're just being rude to Scar.
Yeah, you can join in.
It's deserved.
I think
Is it?
we're trying to work together. I do think maybe we got to be a little bit nicer to each other if we're actually going to make this work. Can we call a truce? Thought that's what this was about. I'm not saying we have to trust each other. I'm just saying we decided to work together. So we should. Right?
Scar looks at Virgil and looks at Henry, the raised brow.
I can't be doing this every time we have discussion.
It's manners. I'm sure you both know plenty about those.
That's not answering the question. Or, I suppose, truce in this case.
Oh, it's not Scar who needs to agree to the truce. It's you two.
Excuse you!
If we're
Yeah.
being technical, truces go both ways.
And Scar has agreed to be civil, if you will.
She did not agree to be civil. She said, you both know about manners. No shit I know about manners. You know damn well who my family is. I'm just not employing them. It's an active choice.
Sorry, who's your family?
Ooh, that's rich coming from you. I'm not going to play into that game.
Kira cast sleep on Henry.
I think that he might have more hit points. than
I think he does. It's about the principle of the thing. You see him start to make signs in the air and shit at you.
Scar watches this and then looks over to Ox. This is your new crew?
Yeah, they're Always entertaining.
Well, thanks.
Guess that pays in a way. Well,
No, don't. Well, I'd love to know why you put on Ox's clothes in the first place.
Yeah, what was all
sorry?
of that? All of this? And he just gestures to her.
I know you didn't want
these
to
are
change.
mine, actually.
Before that,
Would
it was
love
5 minutes ago.
If you could
about-
stop avoiding the question every time.
I think it's more about the fact that 1 second you were in front of the machine, and the next second you were in Ox's old body. That's what this is, right?
Well, someone's gonna take it.
But I.
Usually that is not the case.
Well, usually it's just not that easy to do.
There's also a third. Where did you go?
With detect magic, like what's happening?
Detect magic the old body.
What is going on in you, girl?
I should have mentioned that the tattoos are visibly faded on this body, on Scar's body. You do not detect the curse on them either. This is clearly a celestial, but there is a sort of cursed tinge to the aura that you have seen on some more vampire-esque creatures. She doesn't appear to be a vampire. She's standing in the sun right now. But you can tell that there is something, you can tell it's like an otherworldly. Cursed celestial is the most that you can get from this with the knowledge that you have of the arcane.
No, called Ox a star catcher, right? Like you were the one that's attached to him. Am I putting this all together correctly?
She gives a little one-armed shrug.
So are you a celestial cursed to be down here? Do you choose to be down here?
It's complicated.
Is that what you're trying to figure out, going to all these places?
Guess you could say that.
Are you the patron?
Sorry?
Never mind. I'm putting together so many things, don't worry about it.
Seems like I've connected the dots.
I think so.
I'm just trying to be my own woman. And I think we can help each other out. At least for a time. So, manners. And then we can move on. How's that sound?
Sounds wonderful. Right?
Yeah, sure. We can be civilized.
I can agree to that.
I think Ox is rifling around in his own pockets to feel for everything and make sure it's still there.
Seems like everything is still there.
If he tries to, like, pull the coin, N's coin, out of his bag of holding, does it come?
Is it like sewn into the hem of your pants?
I have been waiting for this to happen
Jesus Christ.
for such a long time, and it's been so
Fucking
hard because it kept moving places.
What?
What?
What do you have in your bag of holding?
There's 2 books. There's a map, some crossbow bolts and a crossbow, a tinderbox, tinker's tools, the Paradise Platinum Mezcal.
You pull out a bottle of Paradise Mezcal.
Is it at the bottom of the bottle?
It's not at the bottom.
What?
On the top
Is it on the top? Is it in the cap?
There's a wax seal on the bottle.
So this is the bottle that she gave you that we were like, this is sus as hell. And Ox was like, I'm gonna keep it though.
Good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just keep things because you're a little bit of a hoarder.
That's crazy.
It's a trauma response.
What?
Pop open the bottle, finally. She watches. So you see a coin embedded in the wax. Catch the light.
He'll peel the coin out of the wax. Scar, I dare you to tell me what's happening.
And what if I don't?
I know you need me for whatever it is you're doing. I don't have to travel with you. I could leave again.
You don't want to know what's really happening here.
think he just asked.
You don't want to know.
You should have been a politician.
You don't.
I guess when you're ready to tell me, I want to know.
It's not about me being ready. You don't want to know.
How many times have I done this?
This?
And she gestures to the machine.
Yeah.
Well, twice now, as far as I know.
What about the first time?
I wasn't exactly there for that. Not in the same way, anyways.
As he's holding the coin in his hands, he'll play with it between his fingers for a moment before he pockets it.
Keep that on you if you know it's good for you.
Yeah. Alright, well. What next?
Detect magic is still on. Does the coin read? End's coin?
Yes. It has that just very, again, like very faint celestial magic aura.
I would love to have fucked up visions about that.
Didn't we want to figure out what Donna's up to anyway?
Do you?
We talked about it. We don't necessarily want to just kill her for a lot of reasons, but maybe I think it's pretty likely she's up to no good.
Pretty likely.
There's a lot of things that she's doing that are no good, but maybe we might be able to stop some of them.
Yeah, I think at this point it's willfully ignorant and irresponsible to ignore it.
How do y'all feel about a heist?
Have you ever broken into someone's office before? Kian?
Office?
What have you broken into before?
Places?
I'm sorry, what is it exactly you're planning on doing?
I think that we would like to know what it is exactly she has her fingers in.
If she's tattooing any more people? What she's planning to do with the rail lines? Questions we probably should have asked a lot earlier, but
She wouldn't have answered.
now that there's no curses holding us back, I think we can do that without getting in trouble. Probably. Most likely. I am confident that we can do it.
Sounds like a good trust-building exercise.
Yeah, we work together, we don't rat on each other, we don't throw anyone under the bus.
Alright, so somewhere it is then.
Let's go somewhere.
Are you allowing her to stand next to you, Ox?
Does she stand next to him?
Yeah.
She puts herself there?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'll
weird.
allow it.
She gives you a little nudge.
Stop at any casinos first? We're heading straight to business.
Straight to business. No time for pleasure.
Understood.
She turns around and steps over to the rest of the poor winds. I don't know if this is like weird to say without inciting them or like talking to them. There is this vibe like they're definitely confused, obviously, like weird stuff has happened in front of them, but none of them seem to be like panicking or overwhelmed by all of this. It's almost like they are accustomed to what the fuck are happening in front of them. As she like returns, gives a little wave to them all, they seem to like recognize that it's her and huddle around her as she like starts to talk to them.
I have a question. Did Scar look like she recognized Lo?
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least I should say like recognized kind of something about Lo. It's not like she was like, hey Lo. It wasn't like a fearful, who is this random person who's appeared here kind of thing. It was sort of like if you see a wolf in front of you, you're not confused that it's a wolf, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
She speaks quietly to her group for just a minute, then turns back around and waves you all over.
Why don't you come over here and meet the winds?
And that is where we're going to end our session for tonight.
That's trademarked.
Yeah.
Maybe, Jacques, did help with the naming of both, so is it trademark?
Yeah.
Oh, it's his it's his IP.
Yes,
He's a fucking traitor.
I mean,
And I've been filling up the sea, mixing water in with salt. I've been filling up the sea, 'cause this was all your fault. When we stand on separate shores, I'll simmer just a little more. Always fighting over something these days, crying over nothing either way. You've been building up a railroad, laying rails and stakes and wood. You've been building up a railroad, like it'll do you any good. When that train is on the tracks, we can put all this at our backs.
So, what the fuck is up with Ox Part 2? Electric Boogaloo.
Do you mean Scar? Ox Part 2? Or Ox Part 1?
You know?